I guess we're all here. This is a lovely spot, isn't it? Rosberg Family Park. Great idea. Fairly new, of course, as you will probably know. In honor of the Rosberg family, who owned the Rosberg department store here across the street for so many years. This was an area they rented for many years and used as a parking lot for the store. So it was well named, certainly perpetuates that famous business name here in the falls. But we have a very long, fascinating, important railway history here in Niagara Falls that should not be forgotten. And certainly a part of that railway history took place right here. Beginning back in 1854, when the Erie and Ontario Railway came right along through here where we are standing. The Erie and Ontario was essentially a local line, originally serving the communities of Chippewa to the south, Queenston to the north. Later the line was extended south from Chippewa to Fort Erie and north from Queenston to Niagara-on-the-Lake. And the Erie and Ontario, as I say, passed right by here. It was owned eventually by the Canada Southern Railway, which in turn leased it to the Michigan Central Railway. The Michigan Central was an American line then that provided service between Detroit and Buffalo by way of southern Ontario, passing through Windsor and St. Thomas, Welland, and Fort Erie then. That line was a little bit shorter then between those two communities of Buffalo and Detroit than going south of Lake Erie. So it was quite popular. In 1883, the Michigan Central built a mainline extension from Welland to Niagara Falls, linking it to that Fort Erie Niagara-on-the-Lake line, right in front of where Mount Carmel is now, the Mount Carmel Center there, the spiritual center. And you can still see that junction point there, actually called Mount Rose Junction. In that same year, 1883, the Michigan Central built a bridge across the gorge just over here, close to where the Whirlpool Rapids Bridge is now. So, starting in 1883, the Michigan Central began to route some of its long-distance passenger trains through Niagara Falls. For example, coming in from Detroit, you went through Windsor and St. Thomas up to Welland, then from Welland down here to Niagara Falls. The trains came right through here, and then the line would curve off here to the east and cross their bridge, the Michigan Central Bridge, into Niagara Falls, New York. Then they would go on up to Buffalo and possibly on to New York City as well. So you had the local trains as well as the long-distance trains both passing through here. So a busy spot. And in 1883, they built a station here, the Michigan Central Railway Station. We're standing where it was located. If you look in your handout, you'll see what that station looked like on page 2, well 3 I guess actually. The bottom picture there at page 3, it's a black and white picture. As you can see, it was a fairly substantial building, mostly 2 stories high. And if you look carefully, you'll see there are rail lines on both sides of the building. And that's because the local line came down this side. The local line would be in your picture there, the line's in the foreground. And that line then curved off this way and on north to Niagara-on-the-Lake. On the other side of the station, if you look carefully, you'll see some lines as well, rail lines. They came down through here, served the station, and then curved off this way to the east to the bridge and over into Niagara Falls, New York. So the Michigan Central promoted the fact that they came through Niagara Falls very heavily. They used it a lot in their advertising. It was a pretty big deal for them. And for many years, it was a big factor in their business. A lot of people took the New York Central line between Detroit, New York, and so on, just so they could come by Niagara Falls. Well, the station was torn down in 1941 because by that time, very few trains were being routed through here, at least very few passenger trains. In the late 40s, there's only one passenger train coming through here between Detroit and Buffalo, and they had no need for a station. But that one last train lasted a long time. It ran through here until 1963. I know that because I was on it in 1960. I came from Welland to Niagara Falls on the train, And it got off right here. By that time there was no station. You just got off here at Queen Street. And that was it. But yeah, an interesting part of our real history for sure. Freight trains, of course, remained popular and common through here until 1991, by which time these tracks through here were owned by Canadian Pacific. Well, this is the line then that crossed Clifton Hill, right, and came down through here, as I say, and crossed the bridge into New York State. But in 1991, the line was closed, and in late 1991, the tracks were torn up through here. And by that time, too, the local service, Fort Erie, Niagara Lake, that had ended a long time ago. So those tracks were gone as well. So some interesting history, railway history. Some of you may have hiked the trail that now follows the right-of-way that those trains used. Say from Clifton Hill, you can follow the trail right to this area here. And it's a very nice hike if you've never done it. It's a good walk, and you're retracing, as I say, a bit of railway history here in Niagara Falls. Anyway, any comments about all this? Okay, we're going to move a little bit further east. So again,